So when I was year one college student, I went to Malaysia as a volunteer teacher. And actually that was the first time I went abroad by myself. So everything is totally new and fresh to me, and I was so excited, even though I didn't know exactly what I'm going to do. And the organization I was in is called Test Learning Center, and it is a non-profit organization providing courses from grade 1 to grade 6, including English and mathematics. And it has around 40 to 50 students, I think. So the first day I came, and I received a very big welcome, and I was assigned to teach grade 1 and grade 2 students. And actually I was a little surprised because I thought there was some soft opening, like give us some introduction or background, but actually no. So that's all fine because that's the reason that why we are here, to teach, and start anytime is okay. And the first day I came to the classroom, actually it was full of math. You can see the classroom filled with very different sounds, like someone fight with each other with their toys, and some kids they run from one side of the classroom to another side again and again. And some kids they jump from their plastic chairs. So I didn't know what to do. I was totally shocked. I just stand here, know what to see. But you can imagine that the classroom here actually is not too big, maybe 4 to 5 square meters, maybe just seem like this area, yeah, not too big. So you can imagine 15 students around 4 years old. They run in the same classroom, just around the circle, again and again. So that's not a really funny thing. And at that time, a very cute thing happened. A girl, I think she was 4 years old, she came to the front of the classroom, and she has a very beautiful curly hair with a pink hair clip. So she came to the front and she hugged my lap and said, "I love you." So sweet, so cute, I really warm. So I really want those kids like me, but I still also need to control this classroom. At least let them lowering their voice so I can talk, I can teach. So the first way I choose is to buy them some snacks. So I think this will be popular with students. I ask the flavor they like and bring some cookies, chocolates, ice cream to them in the afternoon. And I think it really worked because those kids seem very happy when they eat, and I finally got some silence. And next way I choose is to praise them. So I let each of students, they come to the front of the classroom and do some simple calculation, like 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus this. So once they did it, I will say to them that, "Wow, you're so great. You've done so great, you're so clever. I'm so lucky to have you in my class." So some words like that. And also the girl with her pink flag I mentioned before, she stayed in my arm for the whole afternoon. So I think she really liked me. So everything seems pretty good at that time. And as the teacher arrangement is rotation, so I will also go to the senior class, like grade 5 and grade 6. And on the third day, I was assigned to go to the higher class. And those some pictures took at that time. So on the third day, my partner teacher, she invited each of students to do a quick introduction. And there were 3 boys, 3 girls. So one is the third boy's turn. He said he was 17 years old. Just remember that this school only provides courses from grade 1 to grade 6, only primary course. So I was a little surprised. I feel weird because I was 17 at that time. And so I think he should not be here, he was 17. He should go to a college or go to senior high school, anywhere but not here. Before I came to Malaysia, I only know that those kids, they are from Myanmar and their parents didn't have legal visa. So their child cannot go to regular class. But I didn't know they have such an elder student. So I think, not my thing, just, he was 17 years, he should take some formal education. Instead of sitting here, just take 6 week course. And me, I'm not even a teacher. I didn't study education major, and I didn't have any teaching experience. So he should take some formal education. And the school he's in now is not a formal teaching institution, it's just a learning center. They didn't provide any graduation certificate, they didn't provide any diploma. So what's his future, what's his next steps? He was 17, will he stay here until he reach 18? And also the girls I mentioned before, she was only 4 years old at that time. She was only 4 years old at that time. So will she stay here for 10 years or even more? What's her future be like? And after that, I rediscovered a word called refugee. So what's refugee mean? The organization I was in is donated by the UN Refugee Agency and a Christian group. They didn't have so many full-time teachers before we came. They only had one long-term teacher, and she left because of personal reasons. So the school mainly runs by the part-time volunteer teacher like us. And that's also the reason why they accept teachers with like entry level. They didn't have any experience. And those kids, their parents didn't have legal visa. So their child cannot go to regular class and didn't have a choice just here. And they didn't even know how long they can stay in Malaysia. Also, the people in charge, they told us that because of some problem, and they didn't know how long this organization can maintain. So, what's the children's future? They go back, but they leave for surviving. So go back, go where? So I just found that I didn't really understand the word refugee. What's refugee mean? I didn't have deep thinking about the meaning behind this word. I think to those children, refugee means no choice. They have no choice where to stay, where to study, where to live. I searched online, it told me that refugee means someone who has been forced to flee his or her country because of persecution, war, or violence. A refugee has a well-founded fear of perceptions for reasons race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. Most likely, they cannot return home or are afraid to do so. War and ethnic, tribal, and religious violence are leading causes of refugees fleeing their countries. But what under this word are homeless, desperation, helplessness, shelter. So those people, they leave their country mostly because of unacceptable circumstances, so didn't have enough time to take their legal movements to provide their identification, which means that they didn't have enough time to take some legal transportation like plan, and they must live by work or even with the help of smuggling, which is full of risk. But even they finally, luckily, successfully went to another countries, it's still so many problems. It means a lot of time for them to obtain a document to prove that they are refugee. So yes, refugee status need to be proved. So during this process, they come to work, they come to take education, they come to take health care, just take the basic human rights. So what's the problem? So you can see the problems they meet. But what exactly a refugee will meet? A movie actually gives the answer, which is called Catherine. And in Chinese, it's called 何以为家, based on a true story. So it tells the story of a boy named Sam. This boy, and he didn't have any legal document to prove their application. His parents even don't know his age. His parents are refugees, so that's he. And the doctors can only recognize his age by his teeth, as he was around 12 years old. And also his 11 younger sister, the girl in left, she was forced to be married a guy at the age of 30. At that time, she was only 11 years old. So this things incentive them to escape his home. And during this journey, he met an Ethiopian woman who was raising her child by herself. And she gave them food and then helped her take care of her children. However, because her first document expired, so she had to raise money and get a new document to prove their applications. And during this process, he was founded by the Ethiopian authorities and was arrested. So Zhang had no choice. He had to take care of her children by herself. But he's just a child. He's only 12 years old. He didn't have any work. He didn't have any ability to raise the child by himself. So Zhang chose to give the kid to people to smuggling. So this story describes the problem that refugees meet. Because of lack of application, they cannot able to work, to study. They are stuck in a circle. The problems they meet today actually, their children's children will also meet. they will also still live under such pressure. They can't escape this cycle. They leave their own countries for surviving, but actually no place can really accept them. They didn't have any home. The truth that surrounds us is that there are 79.5 million people forcibly displaced worldwide at the end of 2019. Among those were 26 million refugees have under the age of 18. There are also millions of stateless people who have been denied nationality and access to basic rights such as education, healthcare, employment, and freedom of movement. So this is exactly the world that's just helping around us. And so the purpose of my talk today is not to inspire you to donate or be a volunteer, but if it affects you and you really want to, that'd be great. I just want to remember when we talk about some topics like human rights, abortion rights, when we talk about war, healthcare, education, don't forget there's a group of people here who didn't have any choices, who are forced to leave their own countries for surviving, but actually they are now struggling in poverty, injustice, and also for risk. So here I would like to mention women here. As you can see, so many problems they are meet, but actually, luckily, so many people, so many organizations are trying their best to change this situation. And the organization I'm in is called Xinyuan Center, and it was donated by UN Refugee Agency, which donates so many educational institutions around the world. And also this woman, Christine Russell, she promotes a program called Global Education Program. And this program helps so many refugee campus students to get bachelor degree. So actually her vision comes from her volunteer experience. And at that time, he knows that so many kids in refugee campus, they are full of talent. They are hungry for education, for knowledge, but actually they only have few opportunities. So with her vision, she promoted this program. And after her hard work across all sides, 941 refugees have earned degrees and 491 have earned doctorate degree. So that's totally a success. And lastly, let's go back to the story I mentioned at first. So while I leave the touching center and those kids give me these cards and letters, you can see in the left corner, Xing Xing. She's a girl I mentioned so many times with pink hair clip. So I know these kids, and their existence shouldn't be just described under a simple word called refugee. They have their own hobbies, own interests. Some like chocolate, some like ice cream. And the girl out told me that she didn't like the flavor of banana because she thinks it tastes very weird. So they are real person, they are real people, they are alive. And they didn't choose to be refugee. They didn't choose to refuse education. They deserve more chance, opportunities, also better future. And all of this need more attention from all around the world and also from us. Thank you for all listening, and that's the end of my TED Talk.